Testing. All right. You can cut out that other.
Hey, yo, hey. Yeah. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, see y'all from Texas, where we sit riding swangers and put diamonds in our neck.
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing this afternoon? I ain't done one of these in a long time, but it's your boy Doc Holiday. We back with another HBCU tonight. Powered by HBCU Overdrive. Make sure that you like the stream. Make sure that you comment, share. Most of all, subscribe to the channel. Make sure everything that you get is HBCU Overdrive. And for all those that's watching on Twitter, y'all know we simulcast between Twitter and YouTube. So all my folks on Twitter, hit that follow button and then come on over to the YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. And also, if you want to become an exclusive family member, all you have to do is just hit that join button and you get everything from me at the low cost of $4.99. But other than that, I am here. It is March 26th. I am here today with my sis, bro. What's going on, Quay? What's up, Tonio? What's happening? We are here. So I just want to let everybody know, look, yesterday was my Friday, and I did get paid. And guess what?
It's Friday and I'm broke. 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 My check don't come till next week. My check better not be short. My check don't come till next week. My check better not be short. But I'ma act.
Hey, it is what it is. You gotta pay rent, so hey. I can't say too much anything about it, but I'm glad and I'm blessed that I'm here today. I'm breathing, I'm up, I'm awake, I'm feeling good. But I know that's just for one day. But other than that, I can always, it can always be worse than what it was. But I do have some good news. I do have some good news today, and I should have said something about it the other day, but I just got for all those, like I said, check your mentals. We said that before. I did get an email from the people that I am going to be going through. But other than that, trying to figure out where it's at. Oh, so I got a telehealth psychotherapy appointment on tomorrow from 10 to 11, and then I got another one at 11. So I'm going to be back to good health, hopefully. But I ain't going to keep y'all long. And we're going to talk about Clark Atlanta football. But, I can't talk about it by myself. So I brought the man who had the plan, the head man in charge, Teddy Keaton, to the stage right now. What's going on, Coach?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing much better. I'm doing much better. First and foremost, I want to thank you for giving me some kind words on Twitter last week. And it really helped out. And then from everybody else that helped out. So taking it one step at a time.
Well, we appreciate everything you guys do in the media and what you do with your time, the coverage of HBCU sports. And mental health is a strong thing. We have to understand that, we all break down. We all need somebody. I tell people what happens when I need help. Who's the
Mhm.
person I speak to? I see and I reach out and I see somebody that don't look like they're doing well. I'm always willing to, reach out and see if I could be of any voice. I might be that one person to change their mind about doing whatever they was thinking about doing.
Right. Right. Yeah. So but like I said, I appreciate it, man. Um, I had looked at some stuff. Friends was sending me stuff, and next thing you know, I found something that was pretty much reasonable for me, and decided to take a look at it. And Lord behold, I'm be doing have my counseling talk tomorrow. Started off and everything,
That's what's up.
but
Praise God. Ain't he good?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. But first and foremost, man, congratulations on I told you this a couple months ago, but congratulations on the season that you had at Clark Atlanta. Uh First winning season since what? Shoot, 10 years before I was born. So I was born in 79. It's been what 1969 that y'all had a winning that Clark Atlanta had a winning season like that.
No, that's the most wins in a season
Okay.
since 1976. They had a winning season in 2016, I believe it was 5 wins, and they went like five
Okay.
and five. But they've never won. I was one win away from breaking the most wins in school history.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go let's take a look back at the season. End of the season 7-3-1. Um Went into the first round of the playoffs in Division Two. And hey, it is what it is. Uh but what do you think about as far as from last season, the season that you just had? What are some things that you want to take from last season going into 2025?
Well, I tell you, like I tell my kids, we treat every day, every play, every year as if it has a life and history of its own. What we did last year won't determine what we do this year. We have to be focused on what it is that we want to accomplish. No team will look the same. You got people leaving, especially in this today's world of college
Yeah.
football. Everybody's trying to climb up the mountain. So I told my team all the time, we got to figure out what type of team you want to be, what it is that you want to look like, what kind of identity that you're creating for yourself, what kind of work habits are you creating for yourself to give yourself this season a chance to be able to be great.
All right. And then you got this saying, it's the Keaton way. I mean, explain that to everybody that for those that don't know.
Well, in my household, it was one ruler. Her name was Sandra Keaton, and it was either her way or the highway. And so I kind of adapted her rules and the different things that she taught me growing up and put it in a position where where it applied to football. We do things a certain way and we have a way of doing it, but we tweak it. I'm a player's coach, so I listen to my players. If things don't go or it's not operating the way we want it to work, we'll sit down and have a conversation about it. Because one thing I know is that I'm not always right, but I'm really so listen to the people that are around me. I keep a lot of older coaches, a lot of former head coaches around me that allow me the opportunity to get the kind of wisdom that I need and the kind of guidance that I need to be able to move forward every week, every year.
All right. All right. But let's get back to this season, man. 7 wins, the most and the most wins that you had in a long time. Um, People thought that when you took the job at Clark, coming from Allen, that it was going to be, the year was going to fall. You're going to have one of those down years and then you'll pick yourself back up. But what we saw last season was you started off fast and it kind of tailed down at the end, but the fast start from the first game and then going into the final game, just give us a difference as far as um, players and coaches, just how they made that, just made the season what it was.
Well, you talking about anybody that got a quarterback like the right likes of David Wright. He did a tremendous job for us. Had a great season. Amon Harris had a great, production over 1,000 yards. Jamal Jones had a 800, 900 some yards. We got about 4 or 5 receivers that really, really did well for us. Defensively, we gotta kind of hold on because we were very young over there. So we had a lot of returners that came, and everybody was learning what to do, how to do it, and why it was important to do it that way. They
Hmm.
picked up. I always tell people this: winning is a habit, and so is losing.
Right.
People who've been in losing cultures will find their way to lose. So my goal was always to try to keep them abreast and to keep them focused, and teach them how to win. And every day in practice, we created competitions and different things in there that would lure to winning, mindset. And it kind of just went on. We lost to the same team. Two of those teams we lost to, Miles, we lost to them twice.
Right.
And so technically we only lost to one team, which was Savannah State. So, those guys did a tremendous job. My coaches, I mean, my hat goes off to my coaches, Coach Marvin Cunningham, who was a high school coach that I bought up and,
Hmm.
and made him the offensive coordinator, and he did a really good job. He bought into our philosophies and what we do. He even brought some things to the table that was beneficial for the program, to help us look at some things to refresh the way we do things. Coach Cole, our defensive coordinator, he did a lot to help us, structure and do the things that we need to do, create, opportunities for other young players to be able to play. By the time we got to Bethune-Cookman, we was up to about 14 true freshmen on the field playing,
Yeah.
value to the team, and that means we're doing a good job of developing them, but it's also meaning that we've done a good job in recruiting those guys that will come in and make it an immediate impact to the program.
Oh yeah. So start out the first game against what was that, Fort Valley?
Yes, that's
Um
right.
and when I just heard, I don't know where I was at. I think I was at work and I looked online, I was like, hey, David Wright threw for like 7 touchdowns. And I had to go back and look at it again. I had to go back and look at it again. Like I didn't believe that he threw 7 touchdowns, but I know he's a gun. We talked about it before. I know he's a gunslinger, but I didn't know he was swinging like that though.
he he spent it, man. Fort Valley was a big win for this program. It couldn't have been a better first game win for the program to get their mindset from losing. They haven't beat Fort Valley since 2016 or 20. I think it was 2016 the last time they beat them. We had two significant wins that we had. I think they hadn't beat Tuskegee in well over 15 or 20 years. So it's a lot of things that happened in this season that were a first time for Clark Atlanta. But to start the season off against Fort Valley and go down to Fort Valley, which we
Yeah,
all know one of the blue bloods of this conference, and for a team like Clark, who was 0-10 last year, with that mindset of thing, Fort Valley might have underestimated us a little bit and said, well, they the same old Clark. It ain't no way he's going to be able to get them to where they needed to be in that short amount of time. And I think that, Fort Valley came with it. They gave us a, once they figured out we were there to play, they came with it and we came with it as well. I think a lot of that goes off to my receivers and the quarterback. They did a really good job of answering points, touchdowns. I'm a big KD fan over at Fort Valley. I thought KD came and had his troops ready to play. And Marshall, number 6, he's a really good running back. He came to play 17 on their team. I don't know all their names, but I know them by numbers and who showed up to play football. So
right.
those guys are really, really good football players for that program. And for us to get a win over some guys that's been, all conference, recognizing some of the greats in our league, I felt that was a big win for the program.
Okay. Um, then you get your second game, and then we go to let's go into the game against Florida Memorial. Um, Give us just that whole scenario of that day and why. Tell people why it ended in the tie because people was kind of confused of why the game ended in the tie.
Well, we probably should have never started the game in the first place. The weather was really, really bad, and in between the games, we were just trying to play. They had some really good football players. Hat goes out to Bobby Rome. He's no longer the coach there, but Bobby Rome had a really good football program down there going. He had some good running backs. He did some things to take it. Bobby's played me a bunch of times, so he kind of understands who I am and what things he could take advantage of on us. And we were trading scores back and forth, back and forth, and then we went into halftime. It was tied, and they decided the rain kind of tapered off a little bit, and then they said they wanted to go back out again, and we went back out against my wishes. I thought we should have just left it at that. So we both got a series, and we neither one of us scored on that series. And at that
Hmm.
time of the year, and I'll say this here, at that time of the year, we were clearly a second half football team at that time. We were not, a four-quarter team yet. It took us some time, like in the boxing match, we would have to fiddle ourselves around, and sometimes we let people get up on us, and we had to play from come behind football. But it ended in 28-28 because of a lightning storm, and the referees decided that it didn't hurt neither one of us that it was a conference game, that we weren't going to be out there at 12 o'clock at night. So we basically just said we had a long ride to get back to Atlanta, and so we
Hmm.
just said don't just leave it at a time. We'll move on.
Okay. And I know I said which you won the second game, but that second game was against your old boss school, Allen University. Just tell us how that came about. Just the feeling about
Well,
going back to them.
that was an emotional game for I think the players that transferred with me, the players that I left there. I mean, you're talking about a place where I built it from the ground up. My heart is written all in Allen University. My DNA is through the Allen University, and I think they felt a little betrayed that I left them, and went to Clark Atlanta. And Clark Atlanta was one of our rivals. It was
Hmm.
starting to become of a rival because it was our first D2 team that we ever beat at Allen University. So it was coming into a little bit of a rival, and they played. I think Allen came with they gave us their best shot. I mean, and we gave Allen our best shot, and it came down to the last plays of the game. I mean, it was a thriller. It was well worth the paper, but I thought it was a great game.
And then the game that I think everybody watched. I had to watch it like at least 4 times on HBCU Go. Was the Bethune Cookman game. Go down to Daytona. It's hot. It's muggy. And y'all going blow for blow in this game right here. There was a points in this game where it seemed like Bethune could have just blew the doors off the hinges and basically, but y'all kept yourself in that game, and of course, uh, winning the game on a over 40-yard field goal to be exact. In the wind,
55 yards.
55 yards in the wind. Just remember, it was windy out there in the wind. Um, that game. Just tell us about that game right there, because a lot of people we watched it, but it's like, how did they pull it off?
Well, the biggest thing about that game was trying to get everybody to understand one thing. We had to learn. We talk about it in practice every day. We call playing the next play and overcoming adversity. A lot of times in life, we're gonna have life is just a series of adversities that you come a part of. No matter how far you down, I could take you all the way. Let me take you back to Allen when we played Kentucky State, and we was
Hmm.
down 30-7 going into halftime. And I gave a similar speech to the Allen team that I gave to our team. I have one rule: no matter how bad we get in our butt kicks, we never let down and we never surrender and we don't quit.
Right.
Um, and then I said that same speech to them. I better not see nobody quit because it'll tell me who you are as a human being. So to go back out and let all the air out of your tires and stop, being worried about that it's Division 1 versus Division 2, and just play football and execute like we asked you to do. And they did that. I think the coaches did that. They came in, they started executing, and we just went back out and we looked up and we found ourselves in a tight ball game, because we that easily could have went left like 60-7 if it wanted
Yeah.
to, but I read just came back in our favor because I told her I keep carrying keep carrying the water till it turns to wine. That's one of my slogans. Keep carrying the water till it turns to wine. Eventually, it's gonna turn to wine. And those guys kept carrying the water. They kept chopping wood. They kept going at it, and they punched the ball in, and they made plays on defense. Matter of fact, I was so proud of the freshmen because it was like 8 of them on that team on that defensive
Hmm.
side of the ball, and they shut Bethune Cookman out the whole second half. They held them to 3 points, and I was really proud of them. I said, now you see what would happened if we just put all 4 quarters together? You probably could do some real nice stuff if do that.
Uh,
Atlanta and coach staff and everybody, we had arrived that put us in a position to go ahead and finish this season the way we needed to.
Now I'm gonna let you know this. I ain't told you. I had y'all winning that game. I know how much I gonna have y'all winning it, but I had y'all winning that game that day. If I say
I
anything
appreciate
wrong,
that.
I don't say anything bad about Bethune Cookman and Coach Woody because he's doing a good. I think he's doing a tremendous job over there. But I had the way y'all was coming into this game with the momentum because I knew y'all was upset that y'all couldn't finish the game against Flomo that week before. Y'all came into the game to Bethune. That's like I had y'all winning that game. But you finish out, you win against Lane College. You said you felt like your only loss was to Savannah State, which was a good game by far because it was a 7-point difference. You had a tough outing over in Central State up in Ohio because that's a lot of travel right there. But then, of course, you say you lost of course, the miles on homecoming. How did that, my resident HBCU historian, Mr. Ford, I think he was at that game. He did tell me that he was at the game. But just the feeling of having a winning season, but you come into the homecoming game, you lose the game to Miles College. How did that feel to the students, to the athletes, and everything?
We got our ass kicked. Just put it that way. They were better football players, better coached. We got our coach that day. We got our work that day. The homecoming spirit. A lot of these kids have never seen. I've never seen homecoming in AUC, and we turn around and I come here to the AUC and they see it. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, it's all around you. It's kind of like it's a distraction. I mean, it's almost like a
Mm-hmm.
party. I mean, it's going on the softball field. It's all around the field, and most people came just to watch for the first time in probably the history of clock in 30 years that they came to the game and actually was paying attention to the game. Most of the
Yeah.
time when they come here, it's just a big party. So that party was kind of a distraction for the new kids, the freshmen, everybody else. And that's not taking nothing away from Miles. Miles has proven to be a really good football team. I coached there. So I knew the type of kids they had on their team. They came ready to play. And I try. You can't simulate that at practice. You can't get your kids to understand that Miles has for the last decade since 2011 has rose as one of the prominent schools in our conference. So you have
Right.
to bring your A game and understand that when you play Fort Valley, when you play Tuskegee, when you play Miles, when you play Albany State, they ready to play football. There's 4 teams there that if they on your schedule, they're ready to play football this
Right. So you go into the game against Tuskegee, like you said, you won that game. Was you said between 15 and 20 years since y'all since Clark beat Tuskegee.
year. It's
Uh,
been a minute.
and then you go into the battle of the AUC against Morehouse against the first year head coach and coach Terrence Mathis. How do you feel about that program right there with Morehouse and what they got coming up? Because I feel like I think Coach Mathis is actually gonna do something with that program.
Well, I think they all doing a tremendous job. Just got to give people time to do it. I mean, everybody can't do. I mean, what we just did over here, hell, I was surprised about what we were able to do and how fast we were able to do it. But we were working at warp speed here. I mean, we came in with a plan, how we were going to attack it. We had to play them 3, 4 years in a row. But we kind of knew how to build this team. Coach Mathis, coming from the high school ranks, never really know much about the conference, don't know what it looked like, don't know what teams, how to measure up to the teams in the conference, which makes it difficult. So you kind of playing with a blind eye. So now he's had a year under his belt. He get a chance to be able to know the things he got to fix. He's seen most of the teams in the conference, so he has an opportunity to be able to adjust his team to be able to be competitive against the team they need to be competitive against. In terms of the rivalry, that was my first time ever playing in the Morehouse, Clark rivalry, and it's a big one. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know it was as prominent as it is. I mean, we probably get more fans for that game than we do anybody else we ever gonna play against, and it's bragging rights for the AUC Center. I
Mm-hmm.
think that if Coach Mathis can get that thing to be get it on the right track, it could be a really really special game. It's the Tuskegee game. At one point in time, it really wasn't a big game, but now it's 30,000 people that's showing up just to watch them two play, and it's talked about at the beginning of most season. It's going to come down to the championship game between them. So I think that Coach Mathis is a good coach, and I think he's going to do a good job of getting them where they got to go.
Right. So last season, let's go ahead and look at the schedule from last season. You didn't play Albany State. You didn't play Ever Waters. You didn't and you didn't play Benedict. Um but now going into the 2025 season, you start off your season with a heavy hitter in the D2 runner up Valdosta State Blazers in Birmingham. What was you when you made that schedule? What was your thought process when you just start off with Valdosta?
Well, in order to be the best, you got to play the best. It gives you a measuring stick of where your kids at. It let them understand that they put their pants on just like we do.
Hmm.
It measures them against well coached football team, so they understand what to do, how to do it, why it's important for them to do it that way. If you go back to Stillman, even when I was coaching with Coach Ruff over at Miles, we would open up with West Georgia, West Alabama, and all those kids. Yeah, we might lose those games, but they're good games to show our kids how far we go to get on a level where we're trying to get. Now, I don't know with this new paradigm shift of the NCAA, how much difference are those teams anymore? Because I mean, we got a chance and an opportunity to be able to make our teams a little bit better. They have an opportunity and a chance to make their teams a little bit better. So it's going to come down to us, not getting out coached, making good decisions, and playing good football.
Right. So I mean, this Valdosta team is going to be different. First and foremost, going to be different from the head coach's uh side because Coach Jackson is now at the head man at Prairie View. And he's talking about he's want to take the West, he want to take the SWAC. So let's keep it here and there. Of course, you got the rematch against Florida Memorial down this year. It'll be in Atlanta, so it'll be at uh, what I call it, the Pyru Field. That's what I call it. So,
Yeah,
hey,
we got red carpet. Come
hey,
down the red carpet.
if you're on the red carpet, hey, that's a good one right there. Come on down to the red carpet. And then of course you got Fort Valley at home also that following week, and then you go back to Allen University in Columbia, South Carolina. So and then after that you got Benedict at home, which is going through another. They are going through be their second year with a new head coach, um, and it's going into the transition. But you got Albany State on their blue field down in Albany, Georgia, South Georgia. Uh, what do you expect when you play that game right there?
I don't know what to expect right now. I don't know what that's going to look like. We've been focusing on one thing, and that's ourselves right now. We
Hmm.
just we in 10 weeks into what we break our spring up into phases. So we in phase 4 now. We just got out of phase 3, so we've been working on what we can do, how we can contribute, how we can get better as individuals, and we'll worry about those other teams when we get there. The only team that's on our mind is our team. How well we're gonna be, and then when we get to camp, our focus will shift to Valdosta. Because if I'm worried about when I'm playing a team way back in October, I'm losing focus on making sure I got all the right pieces in the developmental process of our kids and giving them everything they need to be successful.
Right. Right. And then of course your big one is gonna be in Fairfield and Miles College again. They're going through a head coaching change. Sam Shade over at Alabama A&M. He's the head man in charge over there. You have homecoming against Edward Waters. Then you're on the road against Kentucky State, and then of course you'll be at home against Morehouse um, for the battle of the AUC. But this is the schedule I'm looking. This year's schedule I'm looking at is a good. It's a good one. It's a tough one. Like I said, like we said, you're starting off with a bang against Valdosta State, and then of course you got you're playing Albany, and then you have Miles always on the schedule, and then you have, to me, I think you have a tough Edward Waters team coached by Coach Morgan, and I'm looking at a Kentucky State team, even though that they were going through a phase. I feel like they're gonna it's a tough team to match up with in the SIAC. And of course, again, you got an up and coming. I think you got an up and coming Morehouse team, coached by Coach Mathis, and he'll be in his second year at the school. And I think this schedule proves that, like you said, you got to be the best. You got to beat the best. What are some?
Well, I got four. I got 3 of the 4 best teams that is played as blue bloods in the conference on this schedule, and I got some
Mhm.
teams like Edward Waters, Coach Hug doing a really good job at K State. It's a lot of things down there that that scare me a little bit. We got to work hard, and we got to be ready, and we got to be prepared. We did do a really really good job in recruitment. I thought we landed some great guys here from the A. Elijah Miller from Grayson is the running back. He's really really good. Got another DB Vaughn from Grayson. He's another really good football player. I mean, we really stole some really good players to be able to put on this team to add depth and value to our program. I think that if our guys just come in, and they've been doing a great job this offseason, they're working hard, they're locked in, they understand the goal at hand. We kind of set the bar pretty high, coming in on the first year and doing things that we need to do here. So we just got to keep them in the mindset that we got to work, and every week is going to take work, and nobody's going to lay down, and nobody's Clark Atlanta is here. They know that you can play. They know that we could possibly win. So every week you got to come with your A game and understand everybody want to knock Coach Keaton off his high horse. From they look at my social media things that I mean, everybody at me like Coach Keaton doing too much. Sometimes I say they don't do enough. I think that it's our job as coaches, want to see it or not, we have to promote our program and our players so it become visible, so people can see that they can get behind it, which we increased in just by doing the social media and the things that we've done. We've increased the part from at the bottom of the barrel to like number 16th in the country. Those things are that you look at revenue increase, which allows you
Mhm.
to be able to pay people, do things, have more things going on. I mean, we was at our school, our president and our people that do work, they're geniuses at what they're doing. We had over 49,000 applications for 1,000 and some change in spots. Everything at Clark Atlanta has been set at a high standard. We call it the Panther way. And that's what we're doing right now.
All right. I know last time we talked about the transfer portal and the pros and cons of it. How do you use the transfer portal, and how do you have the transfer portal benefit you as far as for your team?
It goes back to my arena football days. You got to be a roster manager. You see all these college football teams. They are now hiring general managers to be over their programs, and what that essentially entails that I got to be able to find a good mixture of the high school kids. So I say the high school kids are like your draft pick. The
Mm-hmm.
portal, your free agency. These are guys that I needed immediate fix for. I need to get it for this position and this position. But I also need guys that are my draft picks that I'm willing to grow so they can become a part of the program. So that if I go to and just pick all free agents and build a team, by the time I get to the spring, most of those players are gone. So I can't even get a good spring ball in because I don't have enough players to develop or whatever. And I think we certain teams in Division One. And I don't like to call names because I don't want to get crucified for this, but they went 12-0. But when he took the team over, it was in shambles. So he had to go get immediate fixes. So he bought and found a lot of players that were good immediate fixes. But he also still picked a good group of high school kids to go with that. Then he
Mm-hmm.
turns around and he goes 12-0. And then he turns around and he loses all those players. A lot of the players that he signed as freshmen, a lot of the guys that he bought in as free agent players, and then he turns around and he probably think he won 2 or 3 games last year. That is a problem that a lot of coaches are going to face. So when you as a fan is looking at your team and you thinking just because your team did well last year, that does not predicate that he's going to do well this year. It's all about roster management and with the free agency of these players, meaning that they're not an institution anymore, meaning that there's
Mm-hmm.
no national letter of intent to hold them there. You don't want to financial aid agreement. So
Right.
if Joe want to come here in January, he can come to your school and be practicing in your spring camp. By the time you get to the summer, he may be over at somebody else's roster simply because he just didn't feel it was a fit for him there.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah,
it's
I already know. I already know what school you're talking about too, because my guy, he's a alum of that school, and he taught. Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. we go keep it just like that though. But the to me the transfer portal is just like you said, it's quick fix.
that's right.
It's a quick fix to try to get where you're going. But you also, like you said, use your high school players, and sometimes we got to go. Let's keep it a buck. JUCO players are, coming down the dozen too. You never know what you get out of that JUCO system. Um,
Well, and because of our rule setting, that they don't get that extra year when they come to Division 2, really put
mhm,
us at a deficiency. So now it would be better for him to go to an NAIA program or go
right.
straight Division 1. So D2 will be his last option, meaning that, well, nobody else wanted me, and I go and play. You got to think how strategic these kids are really thinking now. They're really
Hmm.
thinking on a strategic level, and they really wants to be a part. Even the high school kids, they're asking themselves, "I'm not coming there." They're asking the question that they would normally ask at the Division 1 level, and it wouldn't be at our level. What's my chances of playing now?
Right.
How fast feel? And most of them know that they're going to be using your school, and we have to get over that as coaches, knowing that they're using our schools to be able to platoon themselves into a better situation for themselves. And we can't be mad at that
That's a
because
freedom.
it's the landscape of our new world we live in, and we gotta be okay with knowing that this is the ecosystem that we in, and we gotta understand that we gotta get the best out of them while we got them. Ain't no more sitting them on the bench and we developing them. Oh, we gonna wait the next year, let him play. The kid, you hear that come out your mouth, and it's probably gonna be like, all right, we'll see about that then, and they're gonna go on
Hmm.
to the next career.
All right. Um, Big question: How do you replace the production of a David Wright III at QB?
You, you don't try to replace a David Wright. He's irreplaceable. It's kind of like asking the question, replace LeBron James. How do you replace Michael Jordan? You can't replace those guys. You just got another guy, and you got to develop around him and figure out how to get the best out of the guy that you get next. Figure out what his skill set is, his strengths is. We may not look the same as we looked last year. We may not look. It depends on how the quarterback is, and that takes time. When I tell people all the time, just like when we found David Wright, David Wright played as a true freshman, and he had his struggles and his woes too. And it's just like everybody else. We'll have our struggles and our woes, but our job as coaches figure out what the skill set that he can do well and figure out offense or a program around that kid to help him have a chance to be successful early and fast.
Mm. All right. I might, you know what? I might see if I can send some kids to you from Dallas. We a hotbed out here in football out here in Texas, so I might send
Uh,
some couple of kids out that way.
I signed two out of Houston.
Out of Houston, nah, you got to
Mhm.
come to Dallas. We see in Dallas we dominate football and basketball in the city of Dallas in the state. So you got to come up this way though. No, but I might send some kids down that way though. What are your what do you see as far as with black college football this coming up season in 25? What are your thoughts about just the overall product of HBCU football, Division One, Division Two, NAIA?
I think it has improved tremendously. I think there's a lot of good stuff that's going on. I think there's a lot of kids that are coming to our level that we normally wouldn't have got. I think for the overall product of it, there's a lot of talent that's being put into us, and now we just have to do a good job of coaching. And I think that's on all levels of college, all the way from the Power Fives. You can look at it from it's not bad. It's just that you got to develop players, and you got to develop them fast, and you got to get them done. And I think coaching staffs and the HBCUs are doing a tremendous jobs of putting great products. When I watched the Black College National Championship, I watched two coaches put on a display of coaching, meaning you can see their strategy, you can see what they were trying to accomplish, you can see those things as a normal fan. When at one point in time, I can't remember the years. I think it was like '08, '09 when the MEAC SWAC Challenge first started. It was at
Mm-hmm.
Walt Disney World somewhere in Orlando. And I
Yep.
remember, I don't know who the two well, but it was a horrendous show on national TV. And I think over the years, I think it has just gotten really, really, it's gotten really good. Even the quarterback
Mm-hmm.
play has gotten better at the Black college level. It used to be all defense. Now you gotten good offensive players, good in offensive production, and I'm kind of liking to see at the landscape of where we're going.
All right. Uh, I know a lot of coaches have, you have, like you said, you have your mantras and everything, but um, what is your prediction for Clark Atlanta football in the side this season?
We're going 1-0 every week. 1-0. That's all we try to do. If you ask any of my players how to eat an elephant, they're gonna say one bite at a time, and that's how we try to take. Make no prediction. We don't make no predicaments. We just stay in our lane and understand that every day I got to give 100% and do what I need to do to pay the fee. The rent is due every day. And I appreciate my young men buying into that. I think it's unrealistic to place a lot of expectations on an 18 to 20-year-old kid, not knowing that week to week, you're talking about a kid got to go to school, he got a girlfriend, he got a coach that he can't stand, he got football is dry. He got weights. He got everything else. At some point in time, they get to a point where they get burnt out. And I
Right,
think as coaches have to realize when we have pushed them, and what I get with my older coaches, I have to get them to understand. And I say older because I'm getting older too. But I got coaches that's in their 70s and 60s, and I have to
right.
remind them that they didn't ball like we did. They didn't live, eat, and breathe ball. There's a thing called life in the balance for these kids. They do ball when it's time to do ball, and then they go do whatever else they're gonna do. And it's not that important to them sometimes. So when you look at games and you try to predict that this team gonna win or this team gonna win, they forget how to play full quarters, or they play the video game. And you remember when the video game was on, you get up 21, and that was the end of the game. Plug
Push
it.
the reset button.
I think some have that mindset, oh, we up 21 nothing. Or they see somebody on the schedule and they say, oh man, we're gonna beat the brakes off that team. We underestimate people. They don't come in the mindset, I don't care who it is. We gotta come with the mindset that we gotta play football because everybody's coming to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
Oh
that
yeah.
makes sense.
No, it made perfect sense right there. It made perfect sense. But I'm not gonna keep you away, Coach. I appreciate you for coming on at this time. As always, you always been a guest. You like family to us over here, and like I said, I'm gonna keep my eye on for Clark Atlanta football again this season, and try to see if I can send some players and some kids, not even just football players, but just kids that way to Clark Atlanta because I know it's a good school. I got my nephew out there at Clark, so he's a sophomore.
Well, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank y'all for having me all the time. And like I say, go Panthers.
All right, thank you, Coach. You have a good one, man.
You, brother.
All right.
Um,
All right, yeah, that was a good one. That was a great one right there. Good to have him on the show. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit this good old commercial break, and we'll be right back. We're gonna talk about some other things that's going on in our world of black college or black college equivalent. Be right back. If I can find it. There we go.
Yo, it's your boy Doc Holiday with HBCU Overdrive, and I am proud to sponsor Merch Sports. Check out his new line of collection, the Black College Football Fan Club collection. It's basically designed to show support and give respect to the rich history and tradition of black college football. And as you already know, the best college players had to play at HBCUs before integration. So go ahead and check it out over at shopmerchsports.com. Merch Sports. Merch for the sports enthusiasts.
I'm over here chewing on it. Chewing on the Chackalicious gummies right here. Can't put the candy down. But anyway. Again, first and foremost, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me this afternoon. It's rare that I'll be doing afternoon shows, but you know, gotta get it in with the king. But I want to talk about what's up, DC. I want to talk about a guy who has. I ain't gonna lie to you, this man got shit, more followers, more everything on all aspects of social media right now. Name's Ashton Hall. Let's not put it. He did play football at Alcorn, so he's one of us. I'm gonna put it just like that. He's one of us. Originally from Jacksonville, Florida. I don't know about the school because they first coast, Suncoast. I don't know about the schools out there in Florida, in Jacksonville. I just know where he went to school at. But the man has a routine, and he decided that he's gonna put his routine on social media. And it's good to have it's good to have a routine. Hell, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a routine when I go, when I come home. When I get off of work, especially if it's late at night, or just basically just when I get off of work, period. No matter if it's late at night or if it's early in the day. I usually would come in and pretty much put everything up, get comfortable. Any other things that I have in the kitchen, I will wash the dishes. I will make my dinner or lunch, whatever you want to put it in that sense. I will eat. I will put everything up, clean up the kitchen again, and basically get in the shower. And I will do that every day. I'll do that every day, every night. No matter if I got off at midnight, no matter if I got off at 4 in the afternoon, that's my routine, facial routine. But he got a routine where he does and I'm supposed to have a bowl for this, but that's for tomorrow. But I'm supposed to have a bowl. I'm supposed to have a bowl with the ice in it. But I know one thing. That man got Saratoga water booming right now. That tall blue bottle, Saratoga water, he got that thing booming right now. Like, you know, to me, I mean, most people looking at it like the responses on Twitter are like, he's gay, he's this, he's that. Why is he doing this? Why he's doing that? But at the same time, it's like, you know, what is it? What are you doing? What is it that you feel like you doing? Like, why you talk bad about this man because he doing this and doing this and doing that and doing that? Half of you motherfuckers ain't gonna get his million subscribers or a million followers and views and stuff like that because of the fact that, you know, he is disciplined in what he does. I mean, I wish, you know, in a sense, yes, I'm starting to become disciplined. And maybe that's sometimes that's what we all need right there. We all need to have some sort of discipline in our life where you know, you don't just to have discipline in your life will pretty much kind of partially, will not say partially, but put your life in a perspective. But you're the one that has to work on putting the rest of it in perspective. And that's something that I said I'm gonna do. I've been doing it. It's like clockwork. I got up yesterday. And I was tired, but I did take a shower yesterday morning. Got up, cleaned up my house, meaning swept the floor. I had the vinyl wood floors up in here in my house, in my apartment. I swept that up, got a bucket, got my mop, got all the stuff that I need, mop my floor, cleaned the bathroom, cleaned the kitchen, cleaned my bedroom, dust up everything. And I did all this within 1 hour. 1 hour. Before I did that, I ate my breakfast. That's what I did. That's how I do it. And it keeps you disciplined. I walked out of that. So by the time it was time for me to go to work, I walked out of the house by 2:45, made my way up to the bus stop, got on the bus, got to work on time. We all need that. Sometimes when you fall off a cliff, you need something to make sure that you hold yourself up and you hold yourself accountable. I ain't gonna down the brother. I'm not gonna down the brother. What I thought the routine, it was funny to me, but at the same time, it's his routine. We ain't gotta follow it, but there's a lot of motherfuckers out there now that's doing his routine, but it's in a comedic standpoint. He is a trendsetter that got people following his trend. And in an interview, he said, "I'm not gonna be a follower," but at the same time, in order for you to be a leader, to be an effective leader, to be a great leader, to be a leader with good communication and stuff like that, you got to learn how to follow before you can follow and serve before you can learn how to lead. If y'all get what I'm saying on that. All right. But at the same time, he's doing, people trying to dox him and stuff like that. Doxing him ain't gonna do nothing. Ain't gonna do y'all no good. But what is doxing doing for you? Is it giving you a clear head? Because guess what? That motherfucker's about to go make another video with do his same routine, Probably has something different on there. And he gonna get a million damn followers, a million subscribers, a million views, and everything. And guess what? You gonna look at it, you gonna give him a view, and you basically giving him putting money in his pocket. Let's just call a spade a spade. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, young man, keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about these haters. Fuck them. You know, come on. You ain't got to worry about that. Just like our boy would tell them folks all the time.
Shut people! Shut people!
Let me make sure that it registers in your head.
Shut people! Shut people!
That's what you do. Fuck them people. Ain't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Because they're going to keep looking and they're going to keep paying you. And you're going to boost up the sales of Saratoga water all the way up. Second of all, let's talk about this. Hold on. I'm getting ready to talk about this. All right. Look, I'm a ride for my Congresswoman, Jasmine Crockett. She is the leader of the 30th district of the state of Texas, which is the district that I live in, that I was born in, and live in, and I reside. Guess what? I'm a ride for her. No matter if she's not from, not from Texas all the way. She's from St. Louis. She went to college in Memphis at Rose College, and then she came down here to Texas. But I'm a ride for her. Why? Because she's a real one. She's a part of our age group. I'm gonna be just like that. But at the same time, what she said about our governor, I mean, at the same time, it is true. He is in a wheelchair. I'm not talking bad about the man. I'm not talking bad about the man because he's disabled and stuff like that. I talk bad about the man because he don't know what the fuck he doing, to our state. Yeah, we all call him that. Shit, at one point in time, when he was the Attorney General of the state of Texas, we used to call him Uncle Greg. The women, the ladies, the single mothers used to call him Uncle Greg because why? He was a staunch proponent for strict child support laws. Basically, he does not care. If you are a man and you doing what you're doing, if you got child support, you gonna get that money. So basically, the women used to call him Uncle Greg. And I didn't know too much about Greg Abbott because you don't ever see back in the day, we didn't know too much about Greg Abbott. We just knew that he was the Attorney General, and of the state, and he was real heavy on child support. That's all we knew him for. That promise you, that's all we knew him for. I did not know this motherfucker was in the damn wheelchair or not until he became the governor after Rick Perry stepped down to I think Rick Perry stepped down to run for president. at the time. This was 20. I think this was 2012, if I'm not mistaken. He stepped down, and then 2016 he ran again against the Orange Cheeto Man. I feel I'm gonna call him retarded. He retarded. Shit. That's just the generation. I grew up in. Shoot. At the same time, the nigga's name we gonna call him Hot Wheels. I don't care. I mean, do we care about how he got into the wheelchair? I mean, I'm sorry that you decided. Well, I ain't say you decided, but I'm sorry that a tree fell on your back and you are paralyzed from the waist down. I'm sorry about that. We feel for that. Okay. But guess what? You made yourself a fucking millionaire because you sued the company that the tree with the tree, whatever it was, a tree, I think it was a tree tending company. I don't know what it was. All I know is you sued them, you got rich off of that shit right there. And then you became, like I said, you got into politics. I didn't know he was from Duncanville. I didn't know he was from Duncanville. You know, back in the day, in the 70s and the 80s, and parts of the early 90s, Duncanville was pretty much predominantly white. Just like when I went to Cedar Hill in 1993, Cedar Hill was predominantly white. DeSoto was predominantly white. Lancaster was black. It's always been black for the longest. If I've been there, been living, but didn't even know he went to Duncanville. But at the same time, he rose up to power, like we said, got into politics, and then, you know, of course, like we said, he became the Attorney General for the state of Texas, and then when he got the governorship, he did not have to run for governorship because he was the lieutenant governor at the time. He's a lieutenant governor, and he got the job because Rick Perry decided that he was going to run for president. So it was pretty much handed down to him. Now, let's go to present day. What can we say that what Jasmine Crockett said about him, can we say it was a little bit unprofessional? You can critique, you can say yes and no. The reason why we can say no is because we do not like him in the state. We don't. You know, he uses like, I'm a Christian conservative. I'm like, dude, half of you dumbasses don't even go to church. Half of you don't even believe in religion. Half of y'all just saying that because it's code word. It's a code word. It's a code word for I'm a racist. All right. I've always said, he Governor Highway, you roll his ass off a cliff, I wouldn't care. Who gonna catch him? Who gonna stop him? I don't care. Now, I don't know about who the lieutenant governor is right now, but the other goofy ass dude, that's our attorney general, Ken Paxton, I wouldn't want him in charge either. I'm just put it just like that. I don't want him in charge either. He ain't nothing but a damn crook that's standing on 2 feet, literally. But if mama, yes, because she is my congresswoman. She is everybody's congresswoman, and she is championing the voiceless. You can say yes, she's more cognizant, but at the same time, fuck Greg Abbott. Fuck Greg Abbott. Roll his ass down 6th Street in Austin. See what happened to him. No skin on me. Cause he ain't did shit for my state. I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I've always said this. Disabled people are people too. My sister's ex boyfriend, he got disabled in a car accident. Shit. I be like, shit, they go they go little Larry rolling on through. Be like, where wig at? He about to pull up. I mean, it was just we just grew up on, and he didn't take no offense to it and everything like that. But I know some people that's out there that do have disabilities, that's in wheelchairs and everything, that's suffering from cerebral palsy, that's suffering from spinal bifida, that suffer from some just real, real ailments. And don't get me wrong, I know Greg got been suffering from ailments too, from a tree falling on his damn back, and he's losing, partially from the waist down as a paraplegic. But I'm gonna be honest with you, because I've seen him stood up a couple of times. I done seen the man stood up a couple of times. Do he use his wheelchair to garner sympathy? Some people think that. Some people think that. That's just me. But for the Democratic cities in the state of Texas, we still say fuck them. And that's my stance, and I'm still gonna ride with Jasmine no matter what people deem her to be or try to make her to be out as. She's the one she's the one that has been fighting for us since that orange piece of shit got into office this year. She's the only one that has challenged the what the fuck is Elon Musk little goofy ass doing up in the White House? Why is he trying to make decisions for us? Why is he trying to make decisions for our country when he's not a full citizen of the United States of America? You get what I'm saying? She's been fighting for us for the longest. She been trying to stop mass deportation of Hispanics just for us. But at the same time, for the folks that did not vote in their own interest, fuck you. This is a good one to say, but I'm gonna keep what I want to really say to myself, because I know Miss Brandy's on here and she will jump on my head if I say that word. But at the same time, if his mama name is Hot Wheels, I'm gonna keep the name of Hot Wheels. That it's been like that for the longest. If he feels offended by what he's been called, do something about it. Do something about it. I know a dude named Corey Barter, played football at Soto. This man had became a full paraplegic, meaning he had no feeling in his arms, legs, torso, nothing. This man's in a wheelchair 24/7. But he has doctors. He's been working with doctors. He's been working with doctors, and they have came up with something where he can actually stand up, and it's robotics. And he's been championing that. Even though, yes, he cannot move from the neck down. That's not going to stop him from doing what he wants to do. The man is a member of Omega Psi Phi. He has done a lot of things in the in the city of Dallas, in the state of Texas, and elsewhere. Um, the day that he gets up and he walks again, I'm going to champion it, and we gonna chronicle it. But guess what? I'm still shit. Greg Abbott ain't even 10 toes down. I'm gonna be honest with you, be real with you. He ain't even 10 toes down. He 10 toes rolling. That's all I can tell you. I guess I think he in his 60, so I guess he'll roll a 60 then. That's a dad joke right there. But at the same time, fuck Greg Abbott. Yeah, Corey Barner. Yeah, Corey Barner is that's even bro. Corey Barner is Corey Barner. Nah, you champion for everybody, man. I love what Corey Barner does, and I see it on my Twitter feed and stuff like that. And I'm gonna be down with bro when the day that he gets up and he walks unfit, without the artificial stuff. Hey, standing ovation. He's 2 wheel down. Yeah. Yeah. But I could care less about Greg Abbott. I could care less. He ain't did nothing for our state. I could care less. And it's still gonna be, and I'm gonna be honest with you, still gonna be people calling him calling him Hot Wheels, and I'm gonna be one of them. Hey, I'm just gonna put it just like that. But other than that, Congresswoman Crockett, Jasmine Crockett, keep doing what you're doing. We got your back. We gonna be behind you 10 toes down. I don't care what anybody say. And let them know that you're standing on business. Unlike somebody. Well, anyway, man, I ain't gonna keep y'all too long today. I appreciate everybody for joining me. I appreciate Coach Keaton for joining us today, about giving us an insight from what happened last season into what and for this season. Hey, trust me, Brandy. Ain't nobody, I'm gonna be honest with you, ain't nobody gonna run for that district right there other than her. That's the reason why Ella Bernice Johnson had that district for so long. Nobody ran against her like that. We love you. We love you, Jasmine. Keep doing what you're doing. Call them bastards out. Call them out. Anyway, I am about to go back and finish relaxing. I appreciate everybody for joining me today. Make sure that you like the stream. Make sure that you hit that comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can also hit the donation button whenever you can. On PayPal, Cash App, or Zelle. If we truly appreciate it. And like I said, tomorrow is my first day of I'm gonna say recovery, but I would say it's my first day of trying to get enlightened and work on myself. So we'll be back on here tomorrow with the old with the old men, the Gathering Old Men podcast. We got some stuff to talk about tomorrow. And also, I'll be back on Friday. I'm not going to be on there too long for Friday because I got to be at work at 8 in the morning on Saturday. So, yes, new beginnings. That's the word I'm looking for. New beginnings. New beginnings. Yeah. Yeah. So, so for all of everybody do, everybody who's got a hater out there, no matter if it's black, white, or in a wheelchair, this is what you tell
Fuck
them.
them people! Fuck them people!
Hey. Hey. But other than that, oh nah, you good. You good, Evan. You good. Y'all will catch the replay. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Hug your loved ones. Love on your loved ones. More likely, I will be. I think I'll be in Jackson April the 12th. April the 12th. I'm my friend and her son to Jackson, who is auditioning for the Booms. So show them around. They ain't never been, but I'm gonna let them know what's up. And thereafter, trying to see some other things got going on. Got Easter coming up. We got spring football coming up. Damn, I forgot. Well, you know what? Before we leave, shout out to Reggie Barlow, who was named the head football coach at Tennessee State. Oh, Mr. Edwin, he is a trombone player. Play trombone. Going to Tennessee State. Here go the crazy thing, y'all. Reggie Barlow is bringing his whole staff from the DC Defenders of the UFL and leaving the cupboard bare. I think we'll talk about that tomorrow too. But got some other things to talk about. But again, y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Hug your loved ones. Love on your loved ones. We are out of this thing until tomorrow with the Gathering Old Men HBCU tonight matchup. But y'all be easy. Peace.